Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager for Bona Adhesives.
I'm Rob Johnson from Bona Training.
Rob, we have a special guest today.
We sure do, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And you know what? I'd like for you to introduce this guy. I know he's been a big part of your life. It really not meant a whole lot to me, but for you, I know he's a big deal.
He's the biggest deal.
Yep.
And we got to call him by it. I did talk to him a little bit today, and he definitely wants to be referred to by his new title. Okay. That's how we're going to talk to him from now on. It's not just plain old Bill. It is Bill Price, Director of Sport.
Thank you.
Director.
I had him under another title.
Director.
It's Director of Sports. Okay.
Okay.
As you probably read, it's in my contract that you do have to refer to me as that when addressing me. So I appreciate it.
I'm fine with that, but the don't make eye contact was a little bit off-putting.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of things in there that I had nothing to do with. I just
Wayne's is jealous because he's waiting on that too. He can't wait to tell me that I can't do it and I can't look him straight in the eye anymore.
Oh man, how are you guys?
Doing great, Bill. Doing great. So let us give Bill a proper introduction. Well, actually, Bill, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Bill Price. I handle the sport flooring side of the business at Bona. I've been at Bona now for 26 years. I just celebrated my 26th anniversary a few weeks ago, and I'm still going. I get nowhere else to go.
21 years.
That's a long time.
26 years. I started
26.
Started Bona before I was married, before I had my kids. I've spent more time with Bona than just about anybody else in my life. So it's been a pretty good ride. I'm very happy with how things have gone. I've met some amazing people in this industry, and wouldn't change anything looking back on it.
Are you Italian, Bill?
I am.
Yeah. You guys are lucky. You don't need any vitamin D. You're already so tan. You got that good melanoma.
My natural coloring. Yes, it's a gift, really, just to be.
Are we allowed to say things like that?
What, melanoma?
No. Ask him, you're Italian.
I think so.
I don't know if we can.
I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by that.
Oh, okay, good.
No, it shouldn't be. There's a lot of famous Italians. I mean, especially athletes and what have you. Rocky Marciano.
Aren't most of them in jail? I think most of them are in jail, though.
I think you're not supposed to say that.
Oh, there we go. Well, if we're gonna go down that hole, might as well be me.
Pretty sad that the only Italian athlete you could think of has been dead for 50 years.
Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, another good one. Yeah,
25 years, maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. It's really just been the two of them.
Well, there's Julius Caesar.
Billy, do me a favor and tell Wayne the story. Speaking of you being an athlete, that Italian restaurant in the North End, where I think the guy thinks you're a boxer or something. Didn't he see you or said he saw you?
Yeah. Well, I get two of those.
You got to tell that story.
The host I wasn't with you for that. There's a restaurant in Boston, and the host, he wears a tux. He's all dressed up. He takes the job very seriously. And I came in one night, and he looks at me, and he says, "Hey, do you have a reservation?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Geez, he says, it's like an hour wait." He goes, but let me see if I can get you something quick. I said, "Okay, thank you." He comes back. He says, "I got you something. Come with me." As we're walking, he says, "What are you doing in town?" And I said, "I'll just, out for dinner." He goes, "Are you fighting tonight? You got a fight?" I said, "No, not tonight. I don't think so." And I realized as he's talking, he thinks I'm a boxer. And now it's gotten to the point now where I'm at the table. He already sat us down, and I wasn't in a position to say right then, I'm not who you think
Yeah.
He just
No,
gave me-
no.
So I went along with it. Yeah, I just said, yeah, things are good. I've been slowing down a little bit, I don't know who he thought I was. Maybe he
That's beautiful.
thought I was Rocky Marciano's grandson.
Wayne, he brought the sport team to this restaurant, and when we walked in, the guy runs over. Hey, hey, hey. He's hugging them, right?
That's
He sits us all down. He goes, no menus. No menus. I'll just cook for you guys.
Oh, you're
And
kidding.
he just keeps bringing stuff over and just saying how great Billy was, and he saw him that night or whatever. And
Oh man.
so I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I go, Billy, what's going on? He goes, I don't know who he thinks I am. I go, this is awesome though.
yeah, it's at a point now where I can't let him know that I'm really, not anybody who he thinks I am.
No.
Who was the actress? Remember, he sat us down next to an actress,
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah, we're big time.
Wow. Michelle Pfeiffer, who just got made famous again with the Bruno Mars song, has been pretty cool for her.
Wayne, if
All
you
right.
come to Boston, you come to Boston. I know you probably wouldn't call me when you're in town.
No.
But, I'm happy to. I would love to take you out to one of these restaurants that we're talking about in town. There, show you
Here's
around.
what you do. You go in there before me. You sit at a bar, and I'll come up and ask for an autograph. That gets you started. Well, look, we're as you can probably tell, we're going to talk sport today, and we've been trying to get Bill on for a long time, and he's hard to get a hold of because he's busy. So
Well, he's doing a lot of fighting. He's training, he's fighting, he's doing the road work and
Yeah.
everything. He just
the
can't.
nice thing about this podcast is this is right down your lane, Rob. So I'm actually going to learn some stuff and enjoy this myself. So I look forward to you guys kind of talking some sport.
Oh, I thought if it was down my lane, I thought we would be talking barbecue or something like that.
No. Finally, I get one that I don't have to do as much talking. I can just enjoy this.
I doubt it. I doubt that very highly.
Oh,
Okay?
no.
You'll find something to say.
You think so?
I know so.
All right.
What's this, like the 400th episode? Yeah, I know that you'll find something to talk about.
Man, is it? I can't believe how many episodes that you guys have done over the last couple of years with this thing. What I really, I was wondering how you were going to find anything to talk about after like the third or fourth one, and it's pretty clear that you still have nothing to talk about. I listen to most of the podcasts. I have no idea what the subject is because the subject title that it shows me on the podcast,
Yeah.
I've never heard you ever talk about anything that is on that subject line.
No. Like this title of this is going to be called This and That.
Yeah. Those titles are merely suggestions
Yeah.
of what you might hear. Because we have to do some kind of a title.
Yeah.
Well,
We just can't say number 7.
No.
They want us to make up something. I think we should just go to Roman numerals.
well,
All right. Kick it off, Rob. I can't wait to hear this.
Wow, Wayne's in a rush today. We got to get going.
Well, I want to make sure we get it all in while we got.
We got to get going, Billy. Bill, let's
Ready.
talk about. I'm excited about this sports season. Sport has always been big with training, and now that we have these big new training centers on the East Coast, and we have all these new sport products, I am pumped. But take it away, Bill. Let's talk about some of the new sport products coming out this year. And Wayne has a snack. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, for the 200th show, we've got snacks now.
I just can't wait for this. Kick it off, Bill.
are you eating marshmallows just right out of the bag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know where to go with that, but
He's a healthy guy. It's
the
all
perfect-
about the health.
It's
for
a
him.
perfect podcast food. It doesn't make noise.
I've never seen an adult actually eat marshmallows, like multiple marshmallows.
I
Straight.
was just thinking the same thing. I don't think I've ever seen a grown man eat marshmallows like that.
I stole a whole Boy Scout camp full of marshmallows when I was a kid. And I stole every single one of them.
And he's still eating them. He still has them. He's still eating
This
them.
is like my last bag.
I can't believe they're not stale.
When the Boy Scout master realized that someone stole them, he did the speech about, Boy Scout is reverent. The Boy Scout is, all these different attributes that a Boy Scout is. And I've never felt more guilty in my life. And also, I knew I cannot give up the con. These marshmallows are going to be mine.
You were a Boy Scout?
I was a Cub Scout, Boy Scout. No, I was a Cub Scout, Weeblo, and Boy Scout.
Wow.
I like the uniform.
That's it. That's it.
I rose to the ranks of second class too, I think. Not very high. It's the whole knot thing I didn't get down until I was in my late 40s.
Remember, Bill, he's going to be quiet during this podcast. He doesn't have a lot to say.
No, I'm really enjoying it, actually. I can't wait to see what he eats next.
Marshmallow and Scouts. Next, he's going to go with the Fritos. Next, he's going to wait till you start, really getting into something heavy. And then out come the Fritos.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me on here. The timing couldn't be better. We're very excited on the sport team to finally be introducing a couple of new products. And, we haven't had anything new and exciting to promote or talk about in quite some time. So within the next couple of weeks here, I don't know when this podcast is actually airing, but we're shooting for April 1st launch of 2 new products. Super Sport MVP and Super Sport Elite. And the Super Sport MVP is basically a direct replacement for our Super Sport HD that we discontinued earlier in 2022. We are pretty much gonna replace it because it's a similar product in the sense that it's got a Zerodine crosslinker. You mix it, 2-part product. It's going to be something that everyone's very used to doing. It's a comfortable type product because it's really not that much different than our Super Sport HD was, but it is definitely a new formulation, a new product entirely. And the other product is something that really is new for the industry. Not just Bona, but for everyone. The Elite product is a 2-part isocyanate product. It is very similar to Bona Traffic. So the base of this new sport product is Traffic. And as an isocyanate, it has an actual hardener to it. And we know already from what we've seen with Elite that it's going to really have just unsurpassed durability. It's going to wear extremely well. And that the really exciting part about Elite is that we are offering it in a satin sheen. So we right now, we're the only sport satin sheen product that's listed on the MFMA's list of sealers and finishes, and we're the first ones out of the gate with it, and hopefully we're gonna make a lot of noise with it, and hopefully it's going to get a good reaction, good ratings from the sport contractors that use it. So we're very, very excited to get these products out there and in the field and in use, and we're going to be spending, my guys on the sports side of our business, Phil Sanchez and Kyle Scholl, George Shagnon, Brennan Geary. We're going to be spending most of our time traveling around, meeting up with sports contractors that some of them we haven't seen or spent any time with since, before COVID. And we're going to be out there on the road, and we're going to be showing these new products and really trying to create some interest in it. So very exciting time for us on the sports side of the business to have these products in our bag now to work with.
Bill, why don't you tell everybody why it's so important to have a satin sport finish? I mean, man, when I started with you in sport, and was that 08 or everybody has been in search of that white whale, and man, you finally got it. So why is that such a big deal?
Satin has been something that we've been asked for, since the beginning. And traditionally, gym floor is that high gloss mirror like finish. And as it's been more related to the high profile floors and courts in arenas because of the new lighting or the LED lighting that all the arenas have pretty much switched over to. It creates different glare on the courts now. So the NBA has been asking for low sheen products, and we tried about 10 years ago, and we formulated a product and we submitted it for the NBA to look at, and it took them about 12 seconds to say no, it's not going to work. It was too slick. The floor just felt slippery, and the technology back then, we couldn't figure out how to produce a product that had the right coefficient of friction that these players are, with what they're used to and what they demand. So, oil modifieds, there's silica in the flattening agents that are used in oil modifieds. So a satin oil was not going to be the answer. So with this product, the Elite product, it's a product that our Swedish counterparts have been selling in Europe for the last couple of years. And in Europe, the basketball courts are primarily low sheen. They're satin. So this satin's been in use for a couple of years around Europe, and we know that the coefficient of friction is where it needs to be, and we know that the gloss level is just right. It's going to be something that once the NBA goes with a couple of courts in satin, it won't take long for that to trickle down and then become a trend at some point where high schools and middle schools will want to have a floor like that as well. So we know there's demand for it out there. I don't know how much demand, but Robbie, as you were just saying, why it's so exciting to have a satin is that it's going to eliminate a lot of the complaints that we currently hear about sports floor finishes, and primarily it's scuffs. Scuffing is with a gloss coating, you see every single imperfection on that floor, and scuffs they're natural to a basketball floor. But with, as you pointed out earlier, Robbie, we were talking about how black paint or dark blue paint on basketball floors, just the scuffing just looks awful. So we're really thinking that the satin sheen is going to help to hide a lot of those scuffs. The scuffs may still be there, but they're not going to be as visible. The other thing that is a benefit is that one of the complaints that we often get is that, hey, the finish in the lane is looking a little dull compared to the rest of the court. You're going to be starting with a satin, and there's going to be nowhere for that satin to dull down to. So it's going to leave a longer lasting, more uniform look on the floor. And, in the cases of the arenas, the lighting, it's definitely going to react much better to the lighting, not only the LED overhead lighting, but also a lot of the scoreboards and things they have that are at court level that reflect and glare off the floor. That will be minimized with the lower sheen product.
So that's an unbelievable combination. Not only you have a new product that's a traffic-like product, so you're going to get the strength and durability, but now in a sport product that's also a satin, a low sheen product. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. Is there any openings in
Yeah,
sport?
I was going to ask you.
You got something for me?
We'd love to have you back. It just hasn't been the same, since you left us.
I think that Rob, I think you are torn right down the middle, Rob. I know your heart and soul is in tech and training, and I think you're still part of your heart and soul is in sport.
Always has been. Always has been. I love talking about sport during training. I love just boring the hell out of everybody.
No, Robbie was the best out there. He's my Tom Brady. But well, actually, I shouldn't say that anymore. Tom Brady. I can't call you Tom Brady
Yeah,
anymore.
all the guys used to call me are retired. Chara, Brady, all retired now.
They were all the best, though. They were all the best.
Wayne,
yeah.
You know what I love when Billy says, when Robbie left us, he put me on waivers. I was put on waivers, and
Yep.
D
Yep.
took a chance and, you know, picked me up off the waiver line.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean that's your also your background come from tech and training before. You mean you've been in down. I think about it in all aspects of it. I mean, all parts of this job you've been in now, with sport and with territory manager and tech and training. I mean,
I just can't hold a job.
is that it?
I just can't latch on. Yeah,
No,
you know.
Robbie knows more about the sports floor world than I ever will. I mean, I'll text you a couple times a month with questions about things or getting your opinion on things. You really killed it when you were out there in front of in front of sport contractors. Robbie he just blended very well with that, and we were lucky to have Robbie when we did. And he wore many hats. He did his own marketing, did his own IT. I know he at one point he and Pauline he had her working also, and they had their dining room table, like a mixing station. They blended paints, and I think probably made some finish too.
I'm gonna send that picture in. Pauline's gonna get pissed, but it was when we had the water-based paint first came out. There was only so much of it, so Pauline was mixing up the gallons and pouring it into quarts, so I could give quarts to different guys so they could do testing. Got a beautiful picture of my lovely wife just getting it done for the team, man.
Well, what it does is that we talk about role models and you being a maverick. That shows the other sports guys that you screw around like that. You go to tech and training.
It was when I was doing my own marketing under the Bona banner, that and writing text on how to do certain things, and then slapping the Bona on it. And
yeah,
I think Billy got a call from the lawyers like, is there a new division in the Northeast that we don't know about?
The Albany division.
The Albany marketing division.
Marketing.
So, Billy, your sports season. But can you maybe kind of tell us how long that sports league? I mean, it's getting longer and longer, and where are the guys at in that process now?
Yeah, I mean, the sports season traditionally it always went from June to the beginning of September, and that was it. And over the last few years, that's really changed. And most of the sport contractors out there, they unfortunately they don't get a break anymore. They used to get a break, and some of them didn't love having that break. They would have to lay off guys. They wouldn't have a lot of work going on. Now it seems as every month there is work being done. Everyone's busy throughout the year. The summer is still their busiest time. That June through September timeframe is still very, very busy. But man, these guys are working constantly now. And the hardest thing you hear and the biggest challenge for all of them is manpower. They just don't have the amount of guys that they would like to have. But these guys they work hard. And I know all floor guys work hard, but when you see these guys installing a gym floor and they're just running and they just produce. And I don't know how they do it, but a lot of these guys they just do it all year long now.
I've traveling with Rob and going to schools with Rob and having dinners with Rob and over the years and talking. And you guys have a great reverence for the guys that do the work. And Rob has told me story after story about the life of a gym contractor and how hard the work is, and it's completely different than what I thought it was. I was so naive to that part of the business, and I've come away with a whole nother respect for the amount of work that goes into these jobs. And
there is no Thanksgiving or Christmas holidays for the sport guys. When we're taking our breaks and settling down and spending time with the family, that's when a sport contractor has to kick it in high gear, because schools are closed and they got a little bit of time to get in there and do what they have to do. So while we're all living it up, these guys are still cranking it out. It's amazing.
Yeah, like Thanksgiving weekend and that week between Christmas and New Year is probably as busy as those guys get. And the rest of us are taking a few days off, and those guys they are running um, during those time periods too. So yeah, I mean, I'm so lucky that I've been doing sport for um, geez, it's been
Come on.
23 years now, 24 years been doing sport, I guess. And it's not, the floor contractors that I've met in my entire life, it seems like a small family. I mean, there's not that many floor contractors that, that you would go to these conventions, NWFA, and you'd see all these guys, and it was like a family. I mean, you look forward to every year going to those shows because you're going to see all these guys, and there's so many great people, in the flooring business, and the gym floor contractors. They're an even smaller group, and there's maybe 150 to 200 just legit sport floor contractors out there. And we know most of them, and most of them know us, and they're just a fantastic group of people, and it makes it so easy to work with them, and to be able to go and visit some of these people. And a lot of the sport contractors, they're customers of ours, but they're friends. And when COVID hit, that was one of the biggest downsides of not traveling, is that a lot of the friends that I have are, not living in Boston where I live. They're out all around the country, and didn't get to see a lot of those people or connect with them for a year. So that was tough. But now with the new product launches that we have, we're definitely going to be out and visiting people again, and I'm looking forward to that personal part of it, because that's the part that I enjoy the most.
Billy does a cool thing at these conventions. He hijacks the entire convention. One night, Bona gets almost every single person out to dinner. We had buses, went to a Mexican place, and it was a blast. As soon as you get off the bus, everybody was getting margaritas. But anyways, a sport contractor, just like Billy said, they're so great. All of them are just such nice family type atmosphere. But he asked Billy if he could make a speech to everybody. So there we all are at dinner. Remember Jose Diaz's speech? Jose Diaz from Trident Flooring down in Miami. And he gets up. Now this is just a contractor. He gets up. He's got a big company. And he says, we go at each other all year long. We go at each other. He said, but tonight we are family. I'm telling you, there wasn't a dry eye in the place. His speech was much better than that, okay? But that's what his speech was.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, my God, to be a part of this, this is almost every sport contractor in the country was at this dinner, and he gets up there and does his speech about, we're all fierce competitors during the week, but tonight, we gather together, we're breaking bread, and tonight we're all family. And I was like, wow, it's really cool to be part of something like that.
That's just respect. Because if you're in the game, you know how hard anybody else is in the game. You know that they how hard they have to work to be there too. So you love to see that, man, and that's a great thing about, like you said, Billy, getting together with all the guys. I mean, that's what you love about this industry. They're just good, hardworking people, man, and it's you're a tough human being that can be in this industry and do this job, especially for the longevity that some of these guys have. You have to be a tough human being to be able to do it, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
The other thing that night on my bus driving back to the hotel, now here's all these guys and their wives and everything, and we're all belting out "Highway to Hell," singing. The whole bus was singing AC/DC "Highway to Hell." It came on. I told the guy, told the bus driver, turn it up. He turned it up, and every person in that place was singing like they were Brian Johnson. It was a great night. I'll never forget that night.
Yeah, we enjoy those. We've done that every year since then. That was the first year. That was San Antonio, I think. We did that one.
Yeah, San Antonio.
And every other year they have the MFMA conference somewhere, and we hold a dinner on one of the nights, and it's just turned into kind of a tradition that we try to invite everybody. And we wish everybody could make it. We know people have other commitments that they've got to do, but we love. I mean, we appreciate the contractors so much. They're the reason that you even have this job. So everything they do, they've stuck with us over the last couple of years. Have been tough for a lot of these sport contractors, in terms of supply. We've been out of paints, we've been out of finish, we've run into some challenges, and these sport guys who their livelihood revolves around the material that they get from us. And we made it difficult for a lot of these guys to do their jobs because we just did not have product to send them a lot of 2022. And for the most part, everyone has stuck with us, and we appreciate that so much. And the last thing we want is there to be issues or problems. We want the contractors to have perfect jobs. We want them to have everything they need, and we just want to make their lives easier, not harder. And I think last year and through COVID, we made their lives a little harder. And now with these new products coming out and what we're going to do with them, I think we're going to be able to make their lives a little bit easier and help them feel a little more comfortable and confident on jobs once we get these new products out there.
So, if this busy season is getting ready to start, you said it goes all year long, but I mean, as far as material, we loaded up now, we're good to go with product and all that?
Yeah, we still have some challenges on the oil-based side, but we think that by the time the sports season kicks into full gear, early May, June, that we should be in very good shape and able to take care of everybody.
And to your point that we're past, I mean, let's face it, the last 2 years with raw material issues and shipping across the globe has been rough on everybody, but we're thank God coming out of the other side of that. So good news.
Hey, before we wrap it up, I know you're looking to wrap it up. I talked to an old friend of mine, a sport contractor today, Mike Foster from Foster's Floor. His family has been in business for 100 years, and whenever I have questions about something and I can't make something up, I'll go to Mike because he can make up stuff good. And we'll always talk through things. But I haven't talked to him for a while, and today when I was talking to him, he said, "Hey, just so you know, I'm 1 year cancer free today." So he had some rough goings, and I'll tell you, when he was telling me what he went through, I always talk about I'm a glasses half full guy. This guy is a glass is full all the time, full right up. So just want to congratulate Mike and his whole family. His sons are involved in the business and everything. I just want to congratulate him on being 1 year cancer free, and just wanted to give him a shout out.
Hey, Bill, it's been a pleasure catching you, man. And I know you're busy as can be, and you guys are traveling the country. You guys do a lot of road time, man, and really appreciate you being able to come on here. And I'm excited for you because we've been talking about this for a long time, and know what this means to you and the team of these new products and everything. So congrats on the year coming up, man. And thanks for spending some time with us.
And thank you guys. I really, I mean, I'm honored that you got me on here a second time. It's a lot of fun talking with you guys. Congratulations on your 200 shows. I got to imagine that the 3 people that actually listen to the podcast, I'm sure that at least 2 of them have already just hit pause and turned it off. But to them, I say thank you for listening as well.
Well, you can thank Scissors for you being on here, actually, because I was paper and Rob won. And I said, well, I will put him back on then.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, guys.
You know it, buddy.
This has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob and Bill Price with the sports. And please stay tuned for another episode.